It was a Tuesday morning, on the 1st of October, 2013. A young man sat in a cozy library, flipped his laptop open, and began to chat. He looked around suspiciously. His laptop screen was dim. A couple began to quarrel heatedly behind him. He hesitated, then took one quick look behind him. That was all they needed. The FBI swooped in, snatched his laptop out of reach, and tackled him to the floor. The fragile-looking 29-year-old was the creator and operator of the dark online market and criminal network that was known as Silk Road. It all started in February 2011. A website went live, hidden deep inside the bowels of the internet, beyond Google searches or the reach of the government. The website was a marketplace where you could buy and sell anything: drugs, human parts, hacking tools, fake IDs, crime tapes, whatever was deemed illegal in the real world. All transactions were paid in a currency that no one fully understood yet: Bitcoin. The system operated for nearly 2 years under the radar, and law enforcement couldn't stop it. The website was called Silk Road, named after ancient trade routes in history that linked the East and the West, connecting distant civilizations. The brain behind this criminal website was Ross Ulbricht. Ross was a Texas-born physics graduate who was a hardcore libertarian thinker. His philosophy was that the world was flawed because the government controlled everything. He believed that people had the right to take whatever substance they wanted. It's their body. Also, they should be able to purchase and sell whatever they want, without fear of retribution. He created a free market that the government could not control, a market where he was the moderator, the middleman who profited at least 6.23% from all transactions. He chose the online pseudonym Dread Pirate Roberts, based on the character from The Princess Bride, who was able to pass his identity down to a successor.
You're the Dread Pirate Roberts, admit it!
With pride.
This unusual codename made it seem like there was a succession of people operating the account from various locations. The name itself carried a repute of fear, anonymity, and an idea that leadership was transferable and that the Silk Road could never die. Silk Road was hidden in the dark web, only accessible through the Tor network. It had its own vendor trust ratings. Transactions were reliable because they used escrow payments and dispute resolution systems. It was Ross's idea to create safety rather than the chaos of physically meeting with dangerous persons or cartels for a fix. The first products to sell on Silk Road were Ross's own homegrown mushrooms. He advertised the website on online forums, pretending to be a random user who was asking a question out of curiosity. Soon enough, buyers and sellers found Silk Road and started transacting under concealed IP addresses. At first, there were only rumors of the existence of the Silk Road, but even though there was no real evidence, the disturbing blog posts and curious online chats caught the attention of the FBI, DEA, IRS Criminal Investigation, and Homeland Security. News agencies caught on as several deaths occurred due to drugs bought on the platform. While security agencies scoured the internet blindly, over 9 million Bitcoin had moved through the system. What made Silk Road almost undetectable was a series of things. It had no physical location. The Tor network, created by the US Navy in the mid-1990s to shield intelligence communication from the outside world, made it almost impossible to trace users. Cryptocurrency transactions were untraceable, and most critically, the server was in a different country, where law enforcement agents had no jurisdiction. It seemed like Silk Road was truly invincible, until someone made a costly mistake. Ulbricht himself. One fateful day, as law enforcement agents gazed at their screens, a user signed into an online forum under the name Altoid. The user suggestively promoted Silk Road. Then later he made a post. He was looking for a developer. He left an email contact, rossulbricht@gmail.com, for anyone interested to reach out. IRS investigators quickly linked the email to all of his online profiles, and soon enough, his home address. That was the first lead in years. Law enforcement didn't hack into Silk Road. They simply joined it by becoming users and even pretending to be vendors. They studied chats, operations, time zones, and shortly, they discovered a Silk Road server in Iceland. That was when the biggest stakeout began. Authorities obtained back-end data, user logs, and communication records from the servers, and subpoenaed Google to release certain information about Ulbricht's account. Every Bitcoin transaction was now traceable, and authorities could see the accounts connected to the site, as well as where all the commissions were going. The problem was that not all security agents were trying to stop Ulbricht. Some corrupt agents were also profiting from his crime syndicate. Officer Karl Mark Force went undercover as Knob and stole over $100,000 in Bitcoin from Ulbricht, while another officer, Sean Bridges, stole $20,000 in Bitcoin by hacking in as an admin and laundering funds into his personal account. But then, nothing stayed undercover for long. The FBI caught on and followed the trails leading to Ulbricht. They knew that the only way to kill the beast was to take its head. On October 1st, 2013, in a San Francisco public library at the Glen Park branch, the FBI quietly monitored Ulbricht as he sat with his laptop chatting with a dealer. They needed his laptop unlocked because it contained admin panel access, private messages, and financial logs. But then, they needed a tactic, or Ulbricht would push a single button and everything would close, or trigger encryption software. They created a diversion. The moment he took his eyes off the screen for a second, they lunged in, seized the laptop, and tackled him to the floor. He was still logged in as Dread Pirate Roberts. The kingpin of Silk Road was finally in custody. Ulbricht was convicted of multiple charges and sentenced to double life sentences plus 40 years. It was supposed to end there, but it didn't. In January 2025, after 11 years and 3 months, Ulbricht received a full presidential pardon from President Donald Trump.
Today I repeat my pledge to commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht to a sentence of time served. It's enough.
It was part of a campaign promise to libertarians.
Granted me a full pardon.
But what did this mean for Silk Road? Just weeks after Ulbricht's arrest, several other illegal marketplaces appeared online. As for Ulbricht, the man who ran a crime syndicate that made approximately $1.2 billion, was free to roam the streets again.